Hey guys, hope you are doing well. So what an amazing day. So after the yesterday Fed rate hikes, there was a pump as the speech from the Jeremy Powell was really hawkish, but the market recovered today, and also we get the Arbitrum airdrop, one of the biggest airdrop in this in the past few years. So my name is Mike Denkler from CorionX, and I'm bringing you the most important crypto news, technical analysis, altcoin, NFT, DeFi gems to keep you updated and educated. I should state that nothing in this video can be considered as a financial or investment advice, so everything just for your education and entertainment purposes only. So guys, smash those like, push the bell and notification, or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Smashing those like is helping out the YouTube algorithm, so appreciate all your likes, and let's get into our favorite bubble charts. Let's see what's happening. And param, you see Arbitrum is down, but this is the new token has been launching, and at the very beginning there was no sellers, just buyers, and then the price shooted up and then dumped back. But actually where we are now, this is the fair price. This is around the fair price 1.3 and between 1.5 US dollars, so this is quite fair price. Bitcoin is up back about 28,000, Ethereum is up back about 1800, so good to see that the market is pretty looking good. Tron funders is sued by the SEC, but Tron is holding well, and Mask pumped really well, XRD, Zcash, Loopring, so good to see that also altcoins are coming up. So guys, be sure that you are claiming your Arbitrum coins on the arbitrum.foundation websites, because lots of scams out there. So the real Arbitrum site is arbitrum.foundation. You can connect your wallet and you can claim. You have almost 6 months to claim, so it's better to hurry, because then you can also make some gains. What about the crypto fear and greed index? It is at 57, so we are still in the close to the neutral zone, but slightly in the greed zone. So overall it looks pretty good as investors' sentiment is getting better. So let's go and check out our first news. That's about crypto liquidations, because the yesterday volatility after the Fed meeting. So liquidations hit 2,901, so almost 300 million, as Bitcoin shows a volatility. Crypto futures market has seen a large amount of liquidations today. Yeah, so leverage positions, guys, I always telling, when the market is getting volatile, don't use leverage, or just trade on the 5 minutes charts, and then nothing bad can happen. So total liquidations almost 300 million in 24 hours, so that's huge. But Bitcoin price after this huge dump just recovered today, and also that I think liquidated both longs and both short positions. So this is insane, liquidating the both sides, and this is how the market is taking the most out of the hands that they are not using risk management. So guys, let's go and check out our next news. Bitcoin's banking crisis surge will attract more institutions, ARK's Invest Cathy Wood says this. And this is not Bitcoin's banking crisis, it is banking crisis outside Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is taking advantage. So Bitcoin moved in a very different way compared to equity market in response to recent banking crisis. So Cathy Woods shared his thoughts, and she says that the fact that Bitcoin moved in a very different way from the equity markets in particular was quite instructive, she added. Okay. So this Bitcoin's price through the latest banking turmoil will attract more institutions and investors. The big talking point of this bear market is institutional interest in crypto. Every big bank now has a substantive crypto desk, not just for trading, but for partnerships as well. So, okay, but why it's not he but she? Okay. Historically, those big players have been the biggest drivers of innovation. Who is he? Yeah, okay, Oliver Lynch. Yeah, Oliver Lynch. Okay, the CEO of Bittrex. Okay, yeah, so it is not crypto versus Goldman Sachs or crypto versus institutions. It's its race to who can do crypto better. Bitcoin holds 28,000 euro to spot buying, and we see these different metrics. Institutional investors are still selling. Okay. ARK Invest estimates the BTC price towards 1.5 million US dollar will be pushed by institutional investors allocating between 2.6 to 6.5% of the portfolio into BTC. Insane. So insane that as we see 1.5 billion in Bitcoin in 2030, and we have different just assumptions here. Show them a way that it can be done and it can make them money, and I guarantee you they won't stand in the way of that. You will be a pedal to the metal to exploit that opportunity. I like this, pedal to the metal. So guys, also you can be to be a pedal to the metal. Insane. Okay. Also guys, Terraform Labs co-founder Doug Noon reportedly arrested in Montenegro. So that's just a small news. We don't pay too much attention to this, but he was arrested. Montenegro is not far from me after Serbia, and I'm in Hungary. So it's Southeast Europe. Bitcoin currently witnessing its best marketing campaign ever, according to Invest Answers, a lot of S. Okay. During this last crisis of the last 10 days, we had the most rapid acceleration of new Bitcoin wallets we have seen. And of course, Bitcoin has gone up 70% in the last 90 days. Extraordinary movement for an asset like that. And the question that people face, like you mentioned, it's a brilliant question. What do you do? Okay, I can trust the banks, I can trust the treasuries because the US government is printing money like crazy, so it's going to a debase like crazy. And not just printing, but also the debt ceiling has been reached. Yeah, I might get 3.5% or 4%, but the purchasing power is falling by 14% in real terms. What I'm going to do? Do I put into the stock market? Well, everybody says we are going into recession, so the stock market is going to crash. That doesn't sound good. Where do I find the hard assets? We saw gold spike to about 2,000 US dollar for a few hours, and then an example of exactly what people are seeking out. They want to find that hard safe harbor for assets where they can deploy cash. And that's why we are seeing Bitcoin as a new asset class. It's probably witnessing its best marketing campaign ever, and it was built during the last financial crisis. It's designed for financial crisis, and that's why it's doing so well. So guys, listen every word, so important. I think a lot of people are saying, okay, you know, even though I may not trust Bitcoin, I better have 2 to 5% of my cash in it, just in case everything else goes to hell. In terms of a store of value, I look at something that it's not very well adopted, and at the same time a lot of value is extremely hard. In example, there can be more of it printed. That's Bitcoin. You know, 2.5% of the world has adopted it, but 97.5% of the world hate it, and they hate it because they don't have it, and they hate it with vengeance, I don't know this word. But after what just happened right now in the banking crisis we had, it really speaks to the narrative of that. So the guy from the Kitco News also here, I like this. I like this. I think he left Kitco News and he's full crypto now, maybe. Bloomberg analyst says Bitcoin could be kicking off new super cycle as BTC outperforms gold. So guys, what the hell happening? Banks going bankruptcy, banks crisis is ongoing, and Bitcoin outperforms gold. Oh yeah, I like this image. So Mike McGlone says that Bitcoin vastly outperforming gold may be indicative of the new super cycle of the king cryptocurrency. Looking for a super cycle, Bitcoin outperforms commodities with declining risk, Bitcoin beating gold, the top performing old guard commodity in 2023 to March 20 by almost 10x, may be indicative of a super cycle happening in the crypto. So elongated Bitcoin upward trajectory gaining fuel. So Bitcoin beating gold, the top performing old guard commodity in 2023. Guys, insane. Relative strength versus most assets may portend Bitcoin's inflection towards global digital collateral and potential to trade more like gold, US Treasury bonds. Central banks still tightening despite plunging commodities and the banking crisis adds to severe economic reset risks. We are not going to have the liquefaction. I cannot pronounce this. Liquefations like we had in the past because of the lessons of inflation, which will be resonating for our lifetimes when they are liquefying too fast, so liquefying too much. So to me, that's where the world is going now, and that's why we this is a different environment for things that depend on the US equities. That's over, and it's the recession, so we have to get through this recession. If we don't get it, that's a shock. As of just 2 weeks ago, the probability was the most ever from the yield curve. You can say that's declined, so we got to get through this recession to think about anything like risk assets like equity. But look what gold and bonds and Bitcoin are doing. Those to me are going to be some of the things that people are going to be looking to buy in the dips as we tilt a recession. So guys, tilt in a recession, it's quite important that you should understand that what's happening here. So Bitcoin decoupled from the stock market. Bitcoin is not acting like a stock or a risk on assets, and as a recession, we tilt in a recession, then you have safe haven cash, maybe bonds, gold, and of course the digital gold, Bitcoin. So guys, next piece of news is legendary trader Peter Brandt says Bitcoin BTC will likely targeting new all-time high. Here is his timeline. Okay, says chats, in case you are wondering, BTC highly unlikely to come even close to 50,000 in the next 90 days, let alone 1 million. Some smoke too much, wacky. All predictions are just guesses. My guess is that Bitcoin is 12 months away from new all-time highs. Dangerous to have opinions that are without fact. The new all-time high is in April-June 2024, would be very much in line with the past cycles. The amount of disinformation in crypto is amazing to me. Okay. Halving is a way overrated and a non-event. I don't know why he thinks that halving is not a non-event, because every year or every cycle halving is an event. Next, popular crypto analyst says Bitcoin surge to $40,000 to happen a lot quicker. Issues warning on altcoins. So crypto Kaleo, to move from 30 to 40,000 BTC is going to happen a lot quicker than most people think. Plenty of people who want to be Bulls, but are waiting for a dip, will be left watching from the sidelines. Yeah, so many of us are also still at the sidelines. This is your daily reminder that 40,000 is a magnet. Do you believe me yet? So 40,000 is a magnet after breaking this trend line, retesting it twice, and then perfectly going up. So I like this chart. If you are going to see any type of mini altcoin season this run, it probably happens here between the Bitcoin dominance level of 47 and 52. BTC dominance is testing the upper resistance of the channel it's been chopping in the past 2 years. A slightly pullback here, resulting in a little alt rally across the board makes sense. To clarify, I'm still extremely bullish on Bitcoin versus altcoins on most timeframes. If anything, I see this mini altcoin rally as an opportunity for those of you who are overweight altcoins to rebalance your portfolio and rotate some of those profits back into BTC. Bitcoin currently has strong bullish momentum. We are in a slightly pause prior to a massive next leg up, flying straight past 30,000. So 30,000 is realistically your window to take advantage of this move for altcoins. So guys, I think as this scare money is going to go into Bitcoin, but some degens who made money with Bitcoin, they will rotate to altcoins. And maybe in the next video we will talk about the altcoin season, if there will be any. Arthur Hayes says Bitcoin can shatter $1 million on a vicious cycle of Fed monetary printing. Okay. Hayes says that the new program could cause a merry-go-round of US banks receiving endless amounts of money from government in exchange for holding its bonds. It will be profitable for the banks to have a deposit base by every single issuance they can of US government debt, and if they ever need to give their depositors back money, they give their debt to the Fed gives them dollars. So we go on this little merry-go-round, and the US government gets a stuff bonds done to throats of the banks, and everybody's happy. And that's what I think the real and end game is, and how you get to Bitcoin at 1 million, because that's a yield curve control. That's the central bank cashing the checks of the government. A few steps removed, but it's the same thing, and that is where I think the program is beautiful, sinister, but beautiful in some respect, and how it accomplishes this goal. People aren't going to think about it until it exists, and obviously they will say, oh, it will end next year. There is no way it will end this year. So that's the 1 million Bitcoin, but that doesn't happen immediately. It's a path there. I think it's not entirely straightforward, but that's where I see I'm going, and I think Bitcoin eventually will discount that future. It's not going to happen before June to have Balaji out, but I think it will happen as we start seeing the slow motion evaluation of everybody getting a bailout and the guarantee expanding and expanding and expanding. Yeah, because the debt cycle and debt vicious cycle, guys, I cannot pronounce S. Okay, next, BitMEX, the exchange of Arthur Hayes, outlines 3 scenarios for crypto this year, says market recovery is likely outcome. With the crypto industry having learned the lessons of 2022, notably those taught by entities including Free Arrow Capitals, FTX Genesis, and ridding itself on badly run businesses and suspect models. So what will happen? Bitcoin and Ethereum will re-emerge as dominant virtual currencies, while many retail users will get their first taste of crypto through the rise of next-gen gaming. NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and Web3 and metaverses, making crypto more comprehensive, immersive experience. So also these other projects will help to get into. Inflation remains persistently high, forcing the Federal Reserve to continue raising interest rates. Okay, inflation is starting to show some signs of slowing down later. BitMEX sees crypto becoming safer asset class as government creates policies that protects investors. Okay, cool. That sounds pretty amazing. Next piece of news is the bad part of the news. Coinbase CEO on its wealth notice. SEC is like soccer referees in a game of pickleball. So today Coinbase received a wealth notice from the SEC forced on staking and asset listing. A wealth notice typically precedes an enforcement action. Imagine you have got both football and soccer refs on the field, but we are actually playing pickleball, fastest growing new sports in America. The refs can't agree on the rules of this game, and one of them decides to change a call they made back in 2020. So the truth is, today there is no clear rule book from the SEC on crypto, and efforts to engage with the SEC are met with silence or enforcement action. They have not followed a good faith rulemaking process with industry as required under the law. Going forward, the legal process will provide an open and public forum before an unbiased body where we will be able to make clear for all to see that SEC simple has not been fair, reasonable, or even demonstrated the seriousness of purpose when it comes to engagement of digital assets, because Coinbase several times asked SEC to give a clear guideline in regulations, but they haven't gave, and that's the main point here. And also SEC files lawsuit against trans Justin Sun and celebrities over crypto securities offerings. So celebrities who promoted Tron that time, and I think it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, or maybe 6 years ago. And why they are coming now after Tron? Why not that time with some guidelines? And one of the important news out there, US Senator Ted Cruz tries again with new bill to block CBDCs. More important than ever. CBDCs that fail to adhere to these 3 basic principles could enable an entity like the Federal Reserve to mobilize itself into a retail bank, collect personally identifiable information on users, and track their transactions indefinitely. So this is why he is just making this bill. The American people ought to be able to spend their money how they choose without the possibility that every transaction could be tracked by the government. Any way that can it society and exercise their agenda, they will do it. So what the central bank digital currency is all about is surveilling Americans and controlling behavior of Americans. So also Ron DeSantis, so senators are now trying again the CBDCs. So guys, you can check on Dune Analytics how the Arbitrum airdrop is claimed. So let's check. 67% already claimed. So guys, this is almost two-thirds of the total. So let's go and check out our farms. Go to PancakeSwap, provide some liquidity, especially in CorionX and BNB pair. Look up your liquidity on our farms and earn juicy APRs, 90%. And guys, be sure you are providing liquidity and farming here, because then you will get a chance to be on the Laserpunk God's NFT whitelist. So guys, definitely follow me on Twitter, check my Twitter feed. You will find several interesting news here. Make sure that you're following Corion platform and Laserpunk_Gods, and check out our tweets. Be active on the Laserpunk Gods tweet, and you see Arbitrum is actually undervalued compared to other assets based on market caps. Yes, my first ice cream. Okay, the Dune Analytics links you find here, and also check out this Balaji says that they will eventually try to seize Bitcoin, eventually, maybe soon. So buy Bitcoin, get your coins off exchanges, use Ledger Nano X or S, and get the Bitcoin friendly jurisdictions, states like Florida and Texas, or El Salvador, or UAE, or Switzerland, or yes. So guys, interesting news that Telegram is offering sending USDT for free. So what about how much PayPal worth? So guys, definitely check out Tone, but it's not a financial advice, and give a like and share this. Let's go Coinbase for it. So this is a thread, and also Matic Founder responded it. Arbitrum things and everything that we have here. So guys, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something. So definitely follow me on Twitter, provide some liquidity on our farms, and join our Telegram channel. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Have an amazing weekend. See you.